Hello everyone, this is Minoxen giving my review of Magic the Gathering Tactics for PC. Magic the Gathering Tactics is a turn-based strategy game developed heavily from the classic trading card game many of us have grown up with. While it's based on the card game, it's not wholly true to it. Instead of a playmat where you toss down your cards, your Planeswalker instead summons spells from your spellbook onto a battlefield with a few varying options for tactical play. I really feel that the developers could have given us more in this department, or at least something more than the terrain objects that either obstruct line of vision or prevent larger creatures from passing between them, since that's basically all that these do. Making some terrain destructible, or developing tiles that could offer an advantage to a Planeswalker with a particular colored spellbook, are just a couple of ideas that spring to mind, and there's no one saying that they're not going to do this, but it's simply just not in the game right now. But besides the introduction to Magic the Gathering into a 3D arena, there have been a few other changes that bring this game into its own creation. Where before there was luck of the draw and hoping that you drew that crucial land card on your next turn, mana, as it is known in Tactics, generates one random color per turn based on the makeup of your deck. Well, I mean spellbook. One of the other major gameplay changes is the implementation of a 20-minute timer for each player when playing against another person. While this development prevents matches lasting longer than the 40-minute mark, it also brings with it some challenging issues to the PvP. Outrunning, defending, and hiding from your opponent while you have more time on the clock in a losing match might just give you the space to pull a victory from a defeat, thus drawing out the inner troll in us all. But in the same regard, rush strats seem to be the current tactic of choice, so maybe there's just a little bit more balancing to be done about this. And lastly for innovation, there's the Planeswalker talents that you can choose to level for a more specific strategy based around each of the different mana types. And while this may lean more towards established and developed players, I think that it's a nice touch. Now there are several different ways that you can enjoy this game, and I'll use this time to touch on each. First off, there's the option to go it alone and confront the campaign mode. Now, if you're not willing to spend the $20 that it takes to unlock all 5 of the chapters to the single-player campaign, you're still more than welcome to wet your lips on the first free chapter, along with a daily challenge that can net you 2 gold coins and 50 experience. I feel that while $20 isn't a huge investment in a video game, perhaps they could have given us a bit more than 1 chapter to help draw out our interest. Next in line on our tour is the fun of pickup games. Oh, pickup games, how I hate thee. While it's not really the game's fault, more often than not you're going to end up facing off against someone who has downed some real-life cash on their deck, and even if they might be the same level as you are in-game, the fact is that people with the cash to spend on the good cards should and probably always will beat the people who play for free, myself being amongst them. But if you are one of the many players out there who want to further your fun in Magic the Gathering Tactics by purchasing some cards and mastering your spellbook, there is an addition to the pickup game function. Tournaments actually offer some pretty nice prizes for those of you brave enough to spend your carefully earned gold coins on entry fees. At least from what I've seen, the first prize in either draft tourneys or open tourneys is typically a nice card and a couple of booster packs. While the entry fee calculates into being about $3 in real-life cash, 4 of the 8 in each tourney will receive at least 1 booster pack, which is a $3.99 value. And I guess you can't beat that. So, after discussing each of the game modes, I feel it prudent to touch on what, in my opinion, is the worst implemented in-game auction house that I have ever seen. While you are able to sort the results that are on display by rarity, color, and spell type, you're not allowed, however, to further organize these results by using the top of each column. This is a critically missing piece in what I feel is something that should have been a no-brainer on the development team's side. Oh, and did I mention that there's no search bar? So you can forget about trying to find a card by simply entering its name and pressing search. I mean, I can understand that the in-game auction house is kind of the bane to Sony Online's pocketbook by simply allowing players to purchase cards from other players without removing any currency from the game, but they do end up taking money out of the game. It's actually a 20% per auction house transaction, so they're getting the gold back out of the market, so I'm not sure exactly what they were hoping to do here, but this implementation of this auction house is just plain sloppy. Okay, so let's wrap this review up. Magic the Gathering Tactics. Let's do a quick breakdown of what I feel they did right, as well as covering what I think they could have done better. Okay, so here's what they did right. They added new depth to an already massively popular game while keeping some of its core values. They brought to 3D life some of the cards that we've known and loved for years, And while some of the cards will still need to be balanced around this new arena-style battle, along with the 40-minute matches, I look forward to where this game is going. Alright, let's talk about where they had some room for improvement. First of all, they only gave us the first chapter for free, and as a total playthrough of about 2 hours, they should really think about maybe adding in something more than that. But also, if you do go ahead and purchase each individual chapter, you get a new daily quest with each one of those, and that gives you the opportunity to earn your 2 gold a day and 50 experience, which would give you an opportunity to pay back all 5 chapters after about 20 days of doing every single quest every day. And they're not really so challenging, but hey, I would have preferred it for free. And secondly, on the area of room for improvement, if you guys didn't hear me before, I really hate how they did this in-game auction house. They charge for everything that's sold, and you cannot sort. I mean, there's only 180 cards in the game, which is, of course, the third thing on the list as well. There's only 180 cards in-game. I'm looking forward to when they release more cards, and this leaves my final major gripe as the graphics. Why on earth does this game look the way that it does? It was released January 2011. It looks like a game that's many, many years old. And although the game mechanics make it an enjoyable game, I really wish they would have been able to have spent a little more time on the graphics department and done a little bit better job with that. But all in all, it's acceptable. In the end, I'm going to give this game a 7.5 out of 10. I think there's a lot of room for improvement, and it's things that they can still manage to do to improve this game. If they lower the price for booster packs, they change up the auction house, I really think they can make this into a lot better game than what it is currently, and it's going to be able to keep people around for the long haul. But as this is my first review, I hope that you all have enjoyed it. This has been Minoxen reviewing Magic the Gathering Tactics, and I'll catch you guys next time.